Welcome to Papa's Workshop. Today I want to talk about one of the essential tools that I have in my shop. And this is it. Yeah, that's right. It's blue tape. Blue tape is one of the most essential tools that I use on many of the projects that I do in the shop. And you have seen this in many of my videos. Well, today I want to put all those different tips into one video and show you all of the amazing things that blue tape can do. I'm going to start out with 10, and I probably will throw in some bonus tips as well. So you want to stick around to the end. So let's get started. The first tip that I want to show you is to use the tape as a shim, because over time these get loose and then you got to really shove them on to be able to make them fit. And I don't like that looseness, and it's just because over the years this hose starts to wear out. Well, a simple fix for that is to be able to take the blue tape and just go right around this. And that creates a nice shim, and that fits in just right. And now I can be able to take it in and out much easier. Now, I've used this technique on a lot of different applications, and it really works well. Even on some of the adapters that I have made and have on various tools around the shop, I'll use the tape method to be able to secure it even tighter at times when I need to. The next tip that I want to show you is with the drill bit and the drill, and it's creating a depth gauge for the drill bit. Oftentimes you need to be able to drill only a portion of the way through the material, and you can use the blue tape as a stop. This stop gauge works real well, and it just takes a tiny bit of tape. So all you need to do is just measure down to where you want the depth to be, and then just slip the tape on it right at that point. There's my point. So I'm going to wrap that tape around, and I'm going to leave this little tail sticking out. Then I'll put this in the drill. Then I can drill this right to the correct depth. And when the dust starts to blow off, you know that the tape is hitting right at the surface. And that gives you the perfect depth that you're looking for. That can just slip right in there and verify it, and I'm right at the exact depth. So this works extremely good. Now when you cut that, you'll get quite a bit of tear out. And that tear out oftentimes is not good. You don't want that. So one of the easiest ways to solve that is with the blue tape. Put the blue tape down where you want it. Then you can make your cut. You can already see a significant difference. Well, let's go ahead and remove the tape. And now looking at this edge, you really have virtually no tear out at all. Now the next one works real well. When you're trying to put in, let's say, a small dowel rod, and we're just going to drill. Now if I put the glue in and slide that in, there's going to be glue all around this outer edge. So to be able to solve that, I just take a small piece of the tape, put that down, drill my hole, Now I can add a little glue. Now this is one way to be able to add the glue, but it gets a little bit harder to control. So I'm going to show you another method in a moment to solve that problem. But I can just slip that right in. Now there's no glue here. I can pull that off and there's no glue on the outside edge. So this is the masking to be able to prevent the bleed out of the glue off the dowel rod. And that works extremely well, as you can see. The next one I want to show you works real well when you're using either the white glue or mixing the epoxy, because you can put the little bit of glue that you need on here, and if this top didn't work, so I can put my top glue onto the surface, and if it's epoxy I can mix it here. This is just a white glue, so I'm going to drill my hole. Now I can take the tape and make it as a funnel and get just the right amount of glue into the hole and hopefully keep it off the surface too. When I get just the amount that I want, then I can go ahead and put the dowel rod in. And there we go. Again, now this can just be discarded. We don't need that anymore. Or if you're doing multiple holes, continue using this glue. And you can literally squeeze out the glue as you go down and put it into the various holes. One of the most necessary items that you have in the shop is a tape measure. You also need to take notes all the time. The nice thing about this, the tape measure is always with you. So all you need to be able to do is just tear off a piece of the blue tape and put it onto your tape measure. Now you have your notepad and your tape measure with you all the time. So now when you need to be able to record a measurement that you don't want to forget, you can just write it down. Let's say 12 3/4 you needed, and a 6 5/8, and a 7 3/16. So now you have all your notes right there in front of you. When this one's full, just tear it off and put a new piece on. One of the best uses for the blue tape is to be able to use the glue and tape hold down method. And you've seen me use this an awful lot to be able to hold the project on the CNC machine. To be able to do this, all you need is the blue tape and some CA glue. Now I use the Starbond glue, and I have a link in the description so that you can get this glue for 15% discount. That's always available, and you can find that link on any of my videos. But to be able to use this method, all you have to do is tear off a piece of the tape. I'm going to place it on my auxiliary wasteboard. And really 2 pieces is all that I need. That will hold it very, very well. And then I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to put the tape on this surface. And now all I need to be able to do is put the Starbond glue right onto this tape just like that, and it doesn't take a whole lot. I'm going to take the other board now and spray with the accelerator, and this is the accelerator again from Starbond. And then I'll place that right into position, hold it down for just a moment, and it's secured and ready to go. I can begin carving now. With these segmented rings, when you stretch the tape out, it works really good because it keeps everything manageable and everything straight. And the good thing about this, if you put one down and it's in the wrong place, all you have to do is just lift it up and reposition it to get it exactly where you want it. And that one's still not quite right, so I can just lift it up, move it over, set it back down, and it's perfect now. So position that one. Then I can tear off the excess tape. The nice thing about that, when I put the glue on it, all I need to do is just roll it right around, and I have my ring completely put together. Pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one together. I also use a piece of blue tape just to be able to help spread this glue. And if I need to be able to put a little bit more on, I can actually use the blue tape itself and help spread the glue. And this definitely helps to be able to make where it's a very even amount of glue that's in each of these segments. And that one's going to need a little bit more too. And this is another way to really help cut down on the mess that you could create by doing all of these glue ups. And this ensures that you get just the right amount of glue that you need. And if you have too much, we're just going to slide over and put some more on the other one. And I can just use that as a scoop and pull out the excess glue and put it over into the next section. This is one of the easiest ways that I've found to get all the way down to that point right at the very bottom. The last thing I need to do is get the glue onto this end. There we go. Scoop off the excess. And now all we need to do is just be able to connect it. I'm going to take this tape back just a hair and then fold that over, and that creates a real good clamp. Well, there we have it. It's clamped, it's glued, and it was very easy to be able to do. All I need to do is just wipe off this excess glue with a paper towel, and I'll set this ring aside. Oftentimes when I'm cutting a piece of wood, I need to know exactly where that blade is going to be coming through to be cutting that wood. And one of the simplest ways to do that is to mark exactly where that blade touches the surface of the table. And that way, when I'm running my wood through the saw, I can stop it exactly where I need to. If I need to cut this wood and I need it where that saw blade stops right at that point, I need to be able to know how to do that. And the simplest way is, rather than marking the bottom, because that's not going to do any good, marking the top's not going to do any good, but I can mark the side, and that will work perfectly. Because when I cut through, I can stop right there and have it on that line. To be able to show you, I'm just going to cut a real narrow strip. you can see that comes right up to that line. And there's no other way to be able to do it because on the top side, the blade is way back here. And that's because of the curvature of the blade itself. So this is the only way to be able to get it where you can stop exactly where you need it. Now as a stop gauge, you can mark it here, and then that would be the beginning point, and then when you move it over, that's the end point. And to be able to show you, and there you go, you've got the slot exactly where you wanted it. Well, there you have it. Those are my top 10 best uses for around the shop. Now, that still does not even begin to cover all of the different possibilities of the blue tape. Of course, you can use it for masking, for stencils. You can use it to be able to tape around a window and then paint. Those are some of the most simple things that I didn't even want to talk about today. And there's even a lot more. And I bet that I could even put a video together that will show 10 more uses for the blue tape. So if you'd like to see a video like that, go ahead and leave me a comment down below, and I just might go ahead and put together another 10. And I'm also betting that out of all these tips today, that you have picked up at least one that you hadn't thought of before. So thanks a lot for watching the video today. And if you like this video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and click the little bell notification down below so you won't miss out on any of the videos that I upload. So again, thank you for coming and visit me today and learning a little bit about the blue tape.